The Dallas Cowboys are on their bye. And yes, they're 4-2 and they got the big win over the Chargers, but that doesn't mean this team should be satisfied in really any way. There are several changes I think this organization needs to make to be better than what they've been so far this season. Now, before we get down to my 5 changes, if you end up liking my Cowboys Bye Week Changes idea, I appreciate that. Share the video. Get the word out and see if we can find a way to continue to grow us here at the Cowboys Report. Number 1 could be its entire video. I will condense it down to you still got to make some more offensive tweaks. This offense is still not good enough for now. I suppose I'm okay with Mike McCarthy continuing to call the plays instead of Brian Schottenheimer because they won. Make no mistake, I don't think it was the quarterback who led the Cowboys, or the coordinator, the play caller, who got the Cowboys win over LA. It was the quarterback who bailed them out. I do think McCarthy was better against Chargers. You saw some fun stuff, right? Some motion on that triple option keeper play by Prescott. The jet sweep to Brandon Cooks. A dig. They ran a dig for the first freaking time all year successfully. Go figure. They took some more shots downfield. That's all good. There still needs to be more tweaks. You need to make more adjustments. Lean into the stuff that worked against LA and not fall back into slant flat, dragon. Don't do it over and over again. The best stuff against the Chargers, beyond Dak's, out-of-pocket stuff, which was really good in that game and saved the Cowboys bacon behind a bad offensive line performance, was some of the newer stuff. You have to be aggressive. The best thing for your defense is to have a lead. That's what they want. They don't want to be off the field with good time of possession. No, Mike. They want the lead. Let your defense attack by letting Dak deal. It might not work, might not get us to where we want to be, but it gives you the best chance you have right now to win football games. That is what you have to do. So we'll talk about the offensive line and the ground game here in a little bit, but you have to make some more tweaks. This offense is still too old for me. It was better, but only dropped 20 against the bad Chargers defense. And the coaching, design, and game planning and just clock management was a key reason why in that one. So what is your confidence level in Mike McCarthy leading this Cowboys team as we enter the bye week? It's the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. 1 to 10 is your scale. Let's fix the ground game. And I mentioned the motion stuff. I think that's one thing that could really help. If you use pre-snap motion, you run those Cooks jet sweep plays, well, use it as a decoy. Get your linebackers, the safeties, to not be so locked in one ear. Make them look left and right and freeze for a half second and free up a little bit bigger space if you can get past that first level. The Cowboys' ground game is not working at this moment. It's not. I actually don't think it's Tony Pollard because he's been impactful in previous games. He was good against the Cardinals. He's been a great piece in pass protection. He's been awesome in the passing game overall with some, not a lot of room to work with right there. I don't think this offensive line has done its job. And they're not doing a good job of passing off stunts in the pass protection. It's not very good. And the ground game has not opened up holes. How many times have we said, Pollard, no room to run? I'll tell you what, the all-22 angle isn't any better. This team loves duo. They love trying to pull these guards. It's not working the same way. They have a point of attack problem up front. I think what they should try to do, instead of pulling, how about you down block? How about you run some outside zone stuff? How about that? Here are the numbers this year for Tony Pollard. On runs inside the tackles, 50 carries, 189 yards, under 3 points. It's actually just under 3.8. I rounded it up. It's 3.78. 3.8 yards per carry, one run of 10-plus yards, one touchdown. On outside tackle runs, the average goes up by 0.4, and the explosive plays skyrocket. Now, you do run the risk of maybe having some more negative runs, but I don't know. If you're getting 2 yards up the middle, does it really matter that much if you lose one on the outside and then bust one for 15 later? Like, I would like to see more outside zone runs. I would like to see the Cowboys use more motion. The run game staticness is indicative of this entire offense where it's just very conservative, very simple, very old, very basic. It's not confusing defenses. It's making life too easy on them. This Dallas Cowboys team right now, and again, it's indicative of this ground game. You know, they are below average in motion and shift percentages, in bunch, empty, and 3-by-1 formations. It's all very basic. Add some more wrinkles and bells and whistles and eye candy. It works well in the NFL. Today's show is made possible by Game Time. Who here's had a rough time trying to buy a ticket to a last-minute event? You don't know what you're paying or what the best deal is. Game Time is here to take the guesswork out of buying last-minute tickets to whatever sporting event, concert, theater show, whatever you are trying to go to. They've got flash deals and my favorite zone deals. You pick the section, and Game Time picks the seat, because who cares if you sit in seat 7 or seat 17? Doesn't matter. You're in the section that you want. So head over to GameTime.co, create your account, and download the app. And when you use promo code CowboysChat, they'll give you $20 off your first purchase. That's GameTime.co when you for the URL. Promo code COWBOYSCHAT, Cowboys Chat, for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time. Last-minute tickets, the lowest price, all guaranteed. Link and the code, of course, will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Time for maybe the big one, the big specific player involvement here. It's time to play Michael Gallup less. I know you paid him. I know you restructured the contract. The numbers, the film, all of it, the eye test, none of it lies. Michael Gallup is not playing well. And in fact, it is a problem. The level of target share that Michael Gallup is getting is unacceptable. He's not producing at a high enough rate. He has 32 targets this year. He has caught 18 passes. It's a bad ratio. And he should have at least one touchdown. It was a dime from Dak, and he dropped it. How do you drop it, MG? I miss the old Michael Gallup, because he was never a great separator, but he always won those contested catches. And now he's separating even less and not catching it either. Against the Chargers, Michael Gallup was the #1 target getter. He caught 3 passes for 24 yards, 2.4 yards per target. Everybody else was 18 for 20 for 248 and a score. I mean, it's obvious. Gallup's a problem right now. It's a real problem for your offense, because when you throw it his way, you are wasting plays far too frequently. It is time to see Jalen Tolbert. It is time. He showed a bunch of flashes in the preseason. Had a great training camp by all accounts. Give him a shot. You can give more Kevontae Turpin playing time too. I am fine with that as well. Give Tolbert a shot. If it doesn't work, we can try something else. But continuing to funnel targets towards Michael Gallup is setting back your offense. Who do you want to see more of after the bye? MG for Michael Gallup or JT for Jalen Tolbert? Sound off where else but the comments section. Next bye week change, it is time to unlock Mazi Smith, at least as much as you can for a young developmental, first-year player. Mazi has been very quiet this year. We've not said his name very much on air during games, because he's made a handful of splash plays, if that. Now, remembering, of course, that Mazi was always a patience-needed pick, it would be nice if down the stretch this year we saw some flashes of what we think he can be. So far, hasn't done much. 4 tackles, a TFL, and a pressure. That's it. As weird as it sounds, in a very bad draft class, at least year one impact-wise, probably been Deuce Vaughn or has been your most impactful draft pick. Let that sink in for a second. Mazi's been quiet. He has been quiet. Now, it's early, but he's about a quarter to a third-ish player. That's the snap he gets. It doesn't make sense to have Mazi Smith out there on passing downs, or at least a lot of passing downs. He's not a dynamic pass rusher. That's not who he is right now. You're trying to grow him into a run stopper. Against Philly, now don't you want him out there to help stop those push plays, right? To stop that ground game? It's important. So I need to see more out of Mazi Smith. It's going to be a process. It's not going to be overnight. It's probably not going to be after the bye. But as the year goes on, I want to see more growth from Mazi Smith. So grade the Cowboys 2024 NFL draft class. A, B, C, D, or F. So far, at least. I think it's a very low grade. Sound off in the comments. Finally, let's give Markquese Bell some more playing time. I was very impressed with what Bell did against the Chargers. Mostly playing a pass coverage role, kind of a dime linebacker, if you will, because they played a bunch of 4 safety sets in this one. He was awesome. And he was great in coverage. He made a bunch of key tackles. He's actually one of your tackle leaders this year. And if you go by the ratio to snaps played, he's probably got the best ratio so far this season. 27 tackles for Markquese Bell, despite only playing a fraction of the snaps so far this season. In fact, if you look at just the percentages, Markquese Bell this season, folks, has only played 38% of the snaps, and he's got 27 tackles this year. He is always around the football. Now, he's probably a little bit too skinny to really be a full-time, every down linebacker, but when you have the opportunity, I would like to see him get some more playing time. You were tossing out Tyrus Wheat out there. I don't know why. He's kind of a defensive end linebacker hybrid. I don't really get it, to be quite honest. Damone Clark's a better, maybe pure run stopper because he's bigger right now. I think Markquese Bell needs to play more for the Cowboys moving forward. Now, if you love the Dallas Cowboys, you've come to the right spot. Hit that sub button right now. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. A bonus change before we go. Fix the damn penalties. Come on, Mike. We've done this song and dance for 3 years now. The penalty boys are back. We're going to shame them into being better. Here are your penalty leaders this year. Tyler Smith and Jaron Kearse with 6. 2 of them declined, either offsetting or just what they took the play itself as a result. And by the way, Tyler Smith missed 2 games. It's a bad penalty ratio. He's always been a penalty machine, even in college. Got to get better there. Terrence Steele always seems to start the year with a bunch of flags. It's weird. Micah's got 3. Gilmore, Chuma Adoga, Deron Bland, CeeDee Lamb. Get it figured out. Get it figured out. It has to be better because the penalties, you are not going to win many games having 10 flags again. We've seen that song and dance before. It kills you against top-end teams. Figure it out, Mike. This is on you. So everyone type in flags in the comments section to bully the Dallas Cowboys into committing fewer mistakes, because when it's for a good cause, bullying works.